Sahanavavatu Sahanadhunaktu Sahaviyankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. 78. दृष्टिमात्रात्मयात्म्यात् कार्यकारणवस्तुनः नाज्ञातं किञ्चिदप्यस्ति नानपास्तं तथा तमः. So the doubt was, even after gaining the knowledge, that is sakshatkara, so atma anubhava, one may again mistake the embodiment as I. So it means ignorance will still be there. Erroneous notion about oneself, Jagat and Ishvara is bound to be there. How? We find in the case of rope and snake. A rope which was mistaken as the snake, even after discovering that it is not a snake but a rope, at other time you can again mistake it to be a snake only. So like that, now you have discovered that you are Brahma Swarupa. At later period, again you may mistake yourself to be Samsari Jiva. If that happens, what is the use of gaining all this knowledge? So that is the doubt. Here, answer is, it is not possible so. In the case of Atma Jnana, though it is true in the case of mistaking a rope for a snake or anything for something else. How does anyone mistake a rope for a snake? What makes the person mistake a rope for a snake? The rope was not known as the rope. There is something similar available as snake distinct from the rope, but some similarity is there or not? Is not. Now, at a particular place, at a particular time, a person mistook a rope for a snake. The light was brought, and he discovered that it is what? Not a snake, but a rope. But afterwards, there is a rope, there are ropes, there are snakes, and ignorance about that particular rope, is it there or it's totally gone once forever? No. At a different period, a different place, what is possible? Again, that ignorance still being there. Why ignorance still is there? Everything is not rope, everything is not snake. These two things are always available, and the ignorance is possible because darkness also may be there. So that being the case, in the Rajju Sarpa, though specific snake is mistaken snake is found to be a rope, that ignorance to some extent still lingers and it can operate at in the different context as such. So it is possible so. In the case of Atma Jnana, what is the discovery? Direct discovery. There is nothing other than Atma Brahma. Everything is Atma Brahma. If that direct knowledge is there, there is no scope for ignorance being there at any period of time, at any place. In fact, there is no time, there is no space. What is there is only Atma Brahma only. When this direct cognition, Sakshatkara is there, there is no trace of ignorance lingering at any future period, and that being the case, though it is true in the case of Rajju Sarpa that mistake can occur again, here it is just not possible. So this was explained. Now that is the reason why in this, what is that, once the discovery is there, prarabdha is gone and the embodiment has dissolved, or in nididhyasana, the person totally merges in his, gets the antakarana dissolved in the swarupa, he says, that is what atyantika pralaya. For that person, there is no punarjanma at all. Prarabdha has to be exhausted. Once the prarabdha is gone, there is no punarjanma. Whereas in the swabhavikalaya, which is at the kalpanta, ignorance still continues and therefore samsara janma varna is possible. Atyantikoyam pralaya punarjanma vivarjana. Swabhavikalaye shakti sheshadasti punarjanihi. Punaha janma vivarjana ayam atyantikaha pralayaha. Swabhavikalaye shakti sheshat punaha janihi asti. Punarjanma vivarjana, because of the absence or termination of punarjanma, because of there being no rebirth for this person who has discovered the Swarupa directly, no ignorance whatsoever, and therefore no rebirth. Because of that reason, this pralaya is called atyantikaha. Ayam pralayaha. Ayam, what is that? Atyantikaha pralayaha. This total dissolution. Whose dissolution? Atyantika pralaya of who? Jiva. Then what about Jagat? You have to take other way. Atyantikalaya of Jagat gone means Jiva is in the Jagat. Jiva is part and parcel of Jagat. So therefore, ayam Jagataha, you can make adhyara there. Ayam Jagataha. Jagataha, then continue. Atyantikaha pralayaha. This total dissolution of Jagat. When Jagat has got totally dissolved, what will happen? Jiva also is gone. See, in Kalpanta what happens? Dissolution of Jagat is there but not total. Why? Ajnana is still continuing there and therefore Jiva also lingers. So here, that means Jiva also gone forever because that is, so there punaha janma vivarjana. So it is also true when Jiva is not there, Jagat so is not there. Locus of Jiva is not there, Jagat, because Jagat is meant for whom? Jiva. So that is also possible. There is also, see, in Swabhavika Laya, Jiva is there, Jagat is not there. In Swabhavika Laya, Jiva is not Jiva, Jivas are there. All Jivas are intact, hibernating, waiting for the next kalpa to start. But Jagat is not there. Ajnana still continues. Here Ajnana is not there, Jiva is not there, Jagat is not there. So therefore there is no question of any rebirth. So whereas the contrast is now drawn with the Swabhavikalaya. Whereas Swabhavikalaya, in the Swabhavikalaya, natural dissolution which is at the Kalpanta, you can refer to stanza 57. In 57 it was described. In the Swabhavikalaya, Shakti Sheshat, because of Shakti means Maya Shakti or Ajnana Shakti, still continuing, still being there, Shakti Sheshat, Punaha Janihi Asti. Again, what is that is? Janihi. Janihi is what? Janma. Janma is Jani. So again, rebirth is there in Swabhavikalaya. So therefore, in Swabhavikalaya, all that is entire Jagat is destroyed. Jivas are in what state there? Avyakta state, they are there waiting for the next kalpa to start. In Atyantikalaya, which is pointed out at the end of Nididhyasana, and of course after dissolution of the Upadhi on account of Prarabdha Karma, there is no rebirth for the individual. So with this manner, who taught to whom? Yadnya, I hope you remember. Not me taught, okay? I am doing postman's job, okay? Yadnyavalkya taught to whom? Maitreyi. Was it very clear? Teaching was clear? Not my teaching. So Yadnyavalkya's teaching to Maitreyi, was it clear? It has to be clear. Why? Because it is Yajnavalkya. Yajnavalkya is not an ordinary guy as such. It has to be clear. But Maitreyi has one doubt. He says, and who is Yajnavalkya? Husband. She can take liberty. Are you teaching me or confusing me? I think you have confused me. So, what are you doing? So, it is not other way. She has that liberty with him as such. You are confusing me. He said, how? Because, see, look, what did you tell me earlier? See, Vijnana Ghanaha eva. What is that? Vijnana Ghana means what? Nothing but knowledge principle, Jnapti Swarupa, Chaitanya, and Chaitanya alone is there. Means there is nothing other than Chaitanya, which is called Brahma. Now you are telling me, what is that? After this knowledge, you say, Saudnya na asti, 2.4.12. In 2.4.12 only, Vijnana Ghanaha eva he has told. Then, after that, what is that? Atyantika Pralaya, at the end of Nididhyasana, he says, Saudnya na asti. There is no Saudnya. What is Saudnya? Saudnya, she mistook it. Saudnya. What is Saudnya we have seen? See, stanza 77. So that is, what is that? Bheda Saudnya, no, not 27. Is that 77? Just 77. See, that is 77. Their Saudnya, the meaning we have seen, Vishesha Jnana of Bheda, means Bheda Jnana. This is different from this. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha are distinct from one another. So, this Yajna Datta is different from Devadatta, olden days names, not nowadays. Nowadays, Tom, Dick, Harry, you have to say. So, therefore, Yajna Datta is different from the Devadatta. So, like this, no two things, no two persons are one and the same. That Bheda Jnana, Vishesha Jnana of Bheda was meant by who? Yajnavalkya as Saudnya. Whereas, what happened was, Maitreyi mistook it for the very knowledge principle or knowledge of something. For knowledge of something, what should be there? Knowledge principle must be there. So she took that Saudnya means there is no knowledge principle. And if there is no knowledge principle, what will happen? There is a stupor. What is called as Jagadandhyam Prasajjeta. All stupor, no cognition of anything at all. At the same time, beginning what did Yajnavalkya say? Vijnana Ghanaha eva. There is nothing but knowledge principle Chaitanya, which is called as Vijnana. At the end you are telling after knowledge what happens. So there is no Saudnya means there is no knowledge principle. Is it not contradictory? So you are confusing me. She straight away says like this. Sahovacha Maitreyi 2.4.13 Bradharnika. Maitreyi told to Yajnavalkya, Atra eva ma Bhagavan amumuhat. See, but she did it. Though she is addressing who? Husband, she knows who is it. He now not husband, he is Guru. Not, he didn't say, Are didn't say. Or honey, she didn't say. What did he say? Bhagavan. Bhagavan. Oh, revered master. Atra eva. Right here only. What are you doing me? Amumuhat. You have deluded me. Means you have told something which is contradictory. Why? Na pretya saudnya asti iti. In beginning, what did you say? Vijnana ghanaha eva. Pretya, after rising above the identification in the body, in the wake of knowledge, what is not there? Saudnya is not there. She took it that there is no knowledge principle. Earlier you told what? Ghana eva, there is nothing other than knowledge principle. And after gaining the knowledge of the Swarupa, there is no knowledge principle. Therefore, so you have really confused me, deluded me in this matter. So Yajnavalkya says, Yajnavalkya nava are aham moham bravimi. Are, your dear wife, he says, oh Maitreyi, aham moham na bravimi. Don't think what I am teaching is somewhat confusion or delusion. Means I am not deluding you. He says, alam va are idam vijnanaya. What I have taught is more than sufficient to gain the knowledge. Because he is not simply a jnani, but he is a seasoned master also to teach. So therefore, This is what is enough for that. Now, how is it so? So that is what now, see, the answer, alam va are vidnyana, idam vidnyanaya. What I have taught you is sufficient to gain the knowledge. That is the answer. What exactly is meant by this answer? So now, Vidyaranya Muni is explaining. What was taught earlier as Vidnyanaika Ghana and now Saudhnya na asti, these are not contradictory terms. Maitreyi thought to be contradictory because she took the wrong meaning of the word Saudhnya. So she didn't take the Saudhnya as Vishesha Bheda Dhyana. She took Saudhnya also means understanding. Understanding, knowing something also is Saudhnya. So she took that way and got confused. So there is no contradiction. First, there is no contradiction. How there is no contradiction will be elaborated. Vidnyanaika ghanasyasya saudhnya nastiti yadvachaha. Vidnyanaika ghanasyasya saudhnya nastiti yadvachaha. Tadvyahatirna shakyatra tayor vishaya bhedataha. Asya Vidnyanaika Ghanasya Saudhnya na asti iti yad vachaha asti tad atra tayoho vishaya bhedataha vyahatihi na shakya. Tad atra tayoho vishaya bhedataha vyahati na shakya. Asya vidnyanaika ghanasya saudhnya na asti iti yadvachaha. Add there asti. Whatever this statement is there, made by who? Yajnavalkya. What did he say in the beginning? Asya vidnyanaika ghanasya means which was earlier described as vidnyana ghanaha eva. That which is nothing but only knowledge principle. There is nothing other than that. Atma Brahma was described afterward. So pretya saudhnya na astiti. After that is, after getting rid of identification in the body in the wake of the knowledge and destruction of ignorance, saudhnya na asti, this yad vachaha asti. Whatever the statement of Yajnavalkya, that is that he has made thereafter. He says, tad atra tayoho vishaya bhedataha vyahatihi na. Vyahati means virodha, contradiction. That is not a vyahati, that is not a contradiction here. So here means in the case of these two statements, there is no contradiction. So atra means in the case of these two statements, tayo, why there is no contradiction? Tayoho vishaya bhedataha. Tayoho vachasoho, of those two statements. So of these two statements, vishaya bhedataha. Topic is, how topic is different? Vidnyana ghanaha eva refers to the all-pervasive Advaya Chaitanya Sarupa, Jnapti Sarupa, Atma, Brahma. Saudhnya refers to in the state of ignorance, mistaking oneself to be different from other and seeing the notion of duality. So therefore topics are different. Means Saudhnya and Vidnyana Ghana are not synonymous. That's what is meant there. These are not synonymous terms. So what is meant by Saudhnya is different from what is meant by Vidnyana Ghana. That is what Vishaya Bhedataha. Topic being different. So because these two words refer to entirely two different things. So Vishaya Bhedataha, he says, Vyahatihi na shakya. There is no contradiction ever possible in the statements Vidnyana Ghanaha eva and Saudhnya na asti. So that is now that Vishaya Bheda. So how there is a distinction in what is meant by Vidnyana Ghana and Saudhnya. So that is now elaborated. Vidnyanaika ghanoktyasya kritsnaikatmyam puroditam. Vidnyanaika संज्ञा नास्तीति चा विद्या जन्या बुद्धिर्निषिध्यते विज्ञानैक घनोक्त्या अस्य कृत्स्नैकात्म्यं पुरा उदितम् अस्य कृत्स्नैकात्म्यं पुरा उदितम् संज्ञा नास्ति these two inverted comma संज्ञा नास्ति these two words in inverted comma संज्ञा नास्ति इति च अविद्याजन्या बुद्धिः निषिध्यते अविद्याजन्या बुद्धिः निषिध्यते विज्ञानैक घनोक्त्या. So by the ukti statement of Yajnavalkya, what is that? There is nothing but Vijnanaika Ghana. What was the statement? Vijnana Ghanaha eva. So, what does it mean, Uktya, by this statement? Asya. Asya means of this. Who is that of this? Pratyagatmanaha. Of this Pratyagatma. So, what is meant by it? So, see, actually Vijnana Ghanaha eva means what? Entire Jagat is nothing but Vijnana Swarupa. So, that is the Anatmakaha Atma eva Sarvam Jagat or Jnapti Swarupaha Atma eva Sarvam Jagat. That is what is meant by Vijnana Ghanaha eva. So, what is meant by Vijnana Ghana is? So, entire Jagat is Vijnana Swarupa, Jnapti Swarupa or the only knowledge principle Swarupa. What is it? Atma only. So therefore, by that statement, Uktya, Asya means of Pratyagatma, Pratyagatmana, Kritsnaikatmyam, identity with entire Jagat means the Swarupa of entire Jagat is what? This Atma which is nothing but Vijnana Ghana. So that is what is that. Kritsnaikatmyam means Kritsnena Jagata Aikatmyam. Kritsnaikatmyam means Kritsnena Jagata. With the entire Jagat. Entire Jagat, come on, from where to where? Abrahma Stamba Paryantam. Acha, theek hai. So, what else it includes? Hiranyagarbha also includes. It includes you also. But you as what? Be careful now. You as what? Not Atma. You as what? Samsari Jiva. Don't include Atma. Don't throw the baby along with the water. So, you as Samsari Jiva, the notional you, the erroneous no, not Atma you. Atma you is the very adhisthana for entire Jagat, including the Jiva. So, that is what is Krishnena Jagataha Aikatmyam. What is Aikatmyam? Ekatmasya bhavaha means that I know, that is identity, oneness. How can be both one? See, how can entire Jagat be one as Atma, Brahma? Is it ever possible? You just take the features of Atma and Jagat, they are right opposite. Jagat has birth, destruction. Atma has no birth, no destruction. Jagat means inert in nature. Atma is nothing but Chaitanya Swarupa. Jagat means nothing but sorrows. Atma is nothing but Ananda, totally free from sorrow. How can you say both are one and the same? But whose statement it is? Shruti's statement. So how are you going to reconcile this? Such statements we have seen long back. Naishkarmya Siddhi, etc. we have studied once upon a time. Now we have forgotten the name also possibly. How can it be possible to see they are right opposite to each other? How is that? What it? See, if Jagat and Atma are one, this statement amounts to what type of phrase statement it is? Samanadhikaranyam. Forgotten. It is a Samanadhikaranam because both are put in the same locus. Atma, Brahma is as the Jagat. But if you see, it is just not possible. At the same time, who says Shruti says. So what is the, how it is to be reconciled, what type of samadhikarana it is? That also you forgot. See, look, that post is a man. Sthanurvai purushaha. In the darkness you mistook a person was standing there, you mistook it as a post. But when you went near, what is happened? He is a purush. Or it can be other way also. What is that? There was a post and you mistook it for a thief. That is that. You know? Like Rajju sir. See, if you say, see, that post is a, no, that thief, that purusha, other way also is possible. Actually, who was there? A person, 6-footer was there, and he mistook it for a post because you wanted to tie up your cows, etc. You went to the rassi to tie it up. It is either way possible. But generally it is the Sthanurvai Purusha means a post mistaken for a thief. That is what general example, like Rajju Sarpa. So Rajju Sarpa means what? A rope mistaken for a snake. But at place, Shankaracharya used the other way also. Bhujage Rajju Dhishana. Mistaking a snake for a rope, more dangerous. Okay, that is more dangerous. That also is possible. Now, that, what is that? That thief is a post. Is it? A thief means a human being. Can a human being be a post or a pillar? Is it ever possible? No. But how is it possible? This is what is called samanadhikaranya. What you are doing is, in the mistaken thief, the purusha, the person, you are negating the superimposed aspect, and the basis, adhisthana, what is that? You are recognizing the post aspect. So therefore it means the contradictory as features are discarded, the common denominator is taken, because if the post were not there, you can't see a purusha thief there because he is adhisthana for that. If the rope were not there, you can't see a snake. So that is how it's called. Badhita samanadhikarana means negating the contradictory features and taking into account the basis of what is being mistaken. So here also, Jagat and Krishna Jagat, entire Jagat and this Vijnanaghana Pratyagatma are one and the same in the sense. So from the Jagat, the superimposed features of the Jagat, we have to discard. What is the basis? What is that Pratyagatma? Vijnanaghana only has to be taken, then only it is possible. That is what is meant there. Krishnaikatmyam Pura Uditam. It was already told earlier. So now, what is meant by Saujñā Nasti? Saujñā Nasti in the subsequent statement of Yajnavalkya, after the knowledge, he says, what is meant is this. Cha avidya janya buddhi nishidhyate. Buddhi means knowledge, means your notion, the wrong notion, erroneous notion, born of what? Avidya. Avidya janya buddhi means I am jiva, jagat is there, Ishvara is there, sukha dukkha are there, vishayas are there, these vishayas I would like to have, those vishayas I want to get, because those vishayas what they do, they give me sorrow, these vishayas will give me happiness. All this notion of duality, so that is what is called avidya janya buddhi. So here, so jiva adi for all visheshas, all distinct features that can be cognized in the world, whether in the external world or in our psyche, all these are included there. So this way, so Vijnanaika Ghana refers to Jnapti Swarupa Pratyagatma, who is the adhisthana of entire Jagat. Jagat is superimposed. Whereas Saujñā Nasti refers to the all wrong notions born of ignorance, not knowing one's own Swarupa. This way, Vishaya Bheda, two topics of this statement, Vijnana Ghanaha Eva and Saujñā Nasti. So, means after knowledge there is no distinct status of Jiva, etc. Jiva is not there, Jagat is not there, Ishvara also is not there, but don't take it now, okay? If you take it now, you'll be soup. So at that time, Ishvara also is not there. Why? So long as you take as Jiva, so long as you accept the Jagat around, Ishvara is verily there. But in the knowledge, when your mind is absorbed in the Swarupa, your Jiva individuality is not cognized, Jagat is not cognized, Ishvara also is what? Disappears. Ishvara also disappears. Because Ishvara status is for Brahma from the standpoint of the Jagat. Jagat gone, status of Ishvara also gone. That's why he said, Risima Uttara Tapani Upanishad, Turiyaha Ishvara Grasaha. This Turiya swallows who? Karika means what? Transactional reality. So long as the Jagat is there for Vyavahara, so long as Jiva is there for Vyavahara, in same degree, who is there? Ishvara is there. But what we do? We keep Jiva Jagat intact and deny whom? Ishvara. You remember I used to tell one incident? No. Many years back, one of my relatives, in those days when I was a young student, I was reading these things, etc., had been to a native place. And he is an elderly person, to pay respect I have to go to him, etc. And he knew that I have got interest in Vedanta. And this gentleman was a very old, retired person, olden days retired person, they knew Sanskrit. They had studied Sanskrit. And he had studied possibly Shankara Bhashya, etc. Studied, not studied, read, I would say, not studied. He had read Shankara Bhashya because he had those books also. And many things he had, etc. So, when I went to him, etc., just to have courtesy visit as such, so he read the topic. He said, was saying, these gods and this all are false. What this person was doing, every Navaratra, in the home, the deities were there, and used to do elaborate puja 9 days. He knew all the puja, he used to do it. And all deities, and to help, because he was a widower. Nobody else was alone. He was staying in a huge house he was staying. And brother's wife from Bombay used to come and help, etc., because that is there. And they used to care. And we were related, our people also used to help him, etc. He said, I don't believe in God, etc. All these idols I will throw in the streets. This fellow is doing puja. And in such an orthodox manner, I have seen him. Once he was running fever, but he took cold bath and did the puja. Not such a person. But what he may say, I was a little surprised because the contradiction, a person who is doing so puja so meticulously, etc., etc., etc. So he was doing, etc. This is all, the word used by him was false. Mithya, false. So I will throw them in the street. I don't need these at all. I don't need these. Okay, but I don't need. Why do you do? Because of these people. Because why? Our brother, etc. are there. Because the family is, he is the head of the, he is the elderly person. That's okay. I was little surprised. I had no answer at that time. And after some time, he told me other thing also, that he has got a litigation with the neighbor for a small piece of land, and from the court it has gone to a district court for appeal. And the district headquarters is 20 miles, not nowadays 20 miles. In those days 20 miles means to go by the bus, it is a Herculean task. And this person has already crossed 75, 80, he is nearing, has to walk with a stick, etc. But what he was telling, I will teach the rascal a lesson. I will not leave him at all. Means I will fight to the end in the court, for which this old man has to shuttle 20 miles in those days, in those buses, etc. I think it is what, I think ST was not even started at that time. That with the handle you turn, with the handle you turn and start the car and the bus, that age it was. So that is there. So I listened. But I was wondering, now I found what he said. What is that? He said Jagat is Mithya. So therefore, whatever. All these deities, Ishvara also is Mithya. But that piece of land is Satyam. That he didn't recognize, that piece of land also is what? Mithya, he didn't recognize. So that was Satyam for Satyam. I will teach that rascal a lesson. So that is how it is. So this is how not understanding what is meant by that. So therefore, don't mistake. So long as I have the notion of individuality, I should necessarily make use of who? Ishvara. He is very, very useful. All the time, he will help us to get past this Maya. Mam eva ye prapadyante mayam etam taranti. Tribhir gunamayair bhavaihi ebhi sarvamidam jagat mohitam nabhijanati mam ebhyah paramavaya. Daivi hesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mam eva ye prapadyante mayametam tarantite. Entire jagat product of the Maya constituted of three gunas, because of which my Avyaya Swarupa no one knows. Those who totally surrender to me, Maya can be. Totally surrender to me means what? How total surrender to Bhagavan is possible? When it is not possible? In total surrender, I don't have any desire of my own. No desire of my own. Everything is in whose hand? Ishvara's hand. So if that is there, he says, they can cross the Maya. So Maya is a power at whose disposal? Ishvara's disposal. So that Ramayana example is given. When they were going to Vanavasa, Rama ahead. Who was behind Rama? Sita. Who was behind Sita? Lakshmana. Now, if Lakshmana wants to see Rama, he can't see. Do you know why? Not nowadays. Do you know? Lakshmana has never seen the face of Sita. Every day he used to do namaskara to her. He knew only the feet. That is how, when the ornaments thrown by Sita were brought for identification, Rama told Lakshmana, see whether they belong to Sita. Bangles, nose ring, earring, and the anklets, everywhere there. He said, these I don't know, but this anklet I do recognize, because that is what I was seeing every day while doing the namaskar. That was what Lakshmana. So that is the etiquette was there. So now, if he wants to see Rama, he has to look up. But who is there? Sita. Can you say, Sita, get out? What? I want to see whom? Rama. No, who will get annoyed? Rama will get annoyed. So what he has to do? He has to request Rama, please ask Mother Sita to what? Move a little so that I can see you. So therefore, Maya Shakti is under whose command? Ishvara's command. So that you can't slight it down, because it is useful to you also, because you wanted entire Jagat, and without Maya that Jagat cannot be possible. So at the same time, now because it is a problem, so therefore what? You have to hold whom? Ishvara. So therefore, in Vyavaharika Jagat, the most useful one is who? Ishvara. That's why they say, if anyone you can claim as mine with the hand on the chest, there are many people who say my, but when the time comes, everyone deserts it. But the one who can be said as mine, only who? Ishvara. Bhagavan bina koi apnan hai nahi. Only Bhagavan can be, because he can give company everywhere. They say no. When a person dies, relatives and friends accompany up to the crematorium. Wife accompanies up to the threshold, because that is our custom, our old custom. Up to the threshold as such. Okay. So who accompanies all along? Only if we have got that rapport with Ishvara, Ishvara can. In fact, he need not accompany. Has it to accompany us? He is always there, antaryami. But we have to recognize he is always with us. So that is what we say as what? Accompanying. Otherwise, he is always there. But if we don't recognize, he also will be indifferent as well. If we are indifferent, you know, Bhagavan's principle. Yat mama eva yatha prapadyante tan tatha bhajamyaham. As the people, how they seek me, I reciprocate them. If you are indifferent, Ishvara also is what? Equally indifferent. So therefore, In Vyavaharika Jagat, we have to make use of Ishvara. But Paramarthikataya Turiyaha Ishvara Grasaha. So therefore, there is nothing but only Sarvya Api Paramatma Chaitanya. So that being the case, so now the question is, when Saudhya na asti, there is no distinct feature of one thing from other, everything is nothing but Vijnanaika Ghana. Means Jiva also is gone or not? If Jiva is gone, who is there to gain knowledge? If Jiva also is gone, who is there to gain knowledge? Are you not landing in a problem? You see, with the hope of fabulous return in terms of investment, are you not losing the capital itself? Look, moksha for whom you wanted? Me the individual, is it not? And after knowledge, me the individual jiva is not there. Who is there to gain the knowledge? For whom it is? Who is there to gain the knowledge? At least in the world, there are people who inherit the property. Okay, that is that. If property is there, the heir is there. Okay, that is there. So, if not there, Sarkar is there. Okay, the government is there to ready to pounce upon it. Is it not? So, but here, who is there for whom? Who is going to know it? Because when Jiva, etc., Saudhya, Nasha is there, so the knowledge of Atma Jnana is not possible because who wants to gain the knowledge himself is not there. If patient himself is dead, for whom you are going to treat now? Is it? Treatment is for whom? Patient. The patient is gone. Now whom are you going to treat? Some doctor bekar ho jayenge baad mein. How is it possible? So therefore he says, no, it is not that way. Yeah. So therefore, this is the doubt. That is Jivadi Saudhya Nashe. If that specific notion of Jiva, etc., maybe erroneous notion, when it is destroyed, so that is how the knowledge of Atma Vastu is possible. Katham Atma Vastunaha Jnanam. So how is it possible? Why not possible? He says, Hetva Bhava. The means of gaining the knowledge is not there. Because this Jiva was to gain the knowledge, the Jiva himself is not there. Himself or herself or itself is not. Jiva itself, you have to say. Jiva itself is not there. Who is going to gain the Atma Jnana? See, look. You are listening what I am talking. If you are not there, or all of you go, what will happen? And if I continue talking, what will happen? At least I may have satisfaction, that different thing. Okay? At least whether you listen or not, I have done my job. That's I know. So whether you come or not, you feel like coming whenever you want. Okay? But I am continuing. Okay, that's why I have got a satisfaction. Those who are interested, they will learn. That is a different thing. But here, Jiva himself is not there. Who is going to gain the knowledge? The one who is want to gain the knowledge is not there. Who is that? So if that is the doubt, he says no. Because Jiva, the erroneous notion is not there. Swarupa, which doesn't need any means of knowledge, continues to be there. Because Swarupa is what? Nepti Swarupa, knowledge principle. So therefore why? It is Saprakasha. The Swarupa of Jiva, the At is what? Swaprakasha. So, therefore, it doesn't depend on any other means of knowledge. Presently, for you to listen what I am talking, what is necessary? Ears are necessary, mind is necessary, buddhi is necessary, chaitanya is necessary. Here, that itself is the very knowledge principle, and therefore it says, so there is no problem. So that is how the answer is being given in the statement of Shruti 2.4.13. Alam va are idam vijnanaya. So idam, this Atma Vastu is what? Alam. Alam means what? Self-sufficient to gain the knowledge. The Jiva with the Antakarna, Indriyas, etc. not necessary. So this Atma Vastu itself is what? Alam, sufficient enough to gain the knowledge. Why? Itself is knowledge principle. That is now explained. Karya karanata sheshi svata siddhamananyagam. Yadvastu tadalam swatma samvityai nirapekshataha. Karya karanata sheshi. Alternate reading is there. Karya karanata nashepi. Karanata sheshi. No, not karanata. Yes. Karya karanata nashepi. Alternate reading. Svata siddham ananyagam yad vastu. Add asti tad swatma samvityai nirapekshataha alam. Tad swatma samvityai nirapekshataha alam. Karya karanata sheshi or karya karana nashepi. I think it is instead of ta. Karya karana nashepi, not karya karanata nashepi. Okay, meaning is same. So, karya karana nashepi or karya karanata nashepi or karya karanata sheshi. First, let us see what is karya karanata sheshi. Sheshi means that which remains. That which remains after the destruction of both karya and karana. So, what that? So, after that which remains, even after the destruction of Karya Karana. What is this Karya Karana? In earlier chapter, which was described as what? What remains afterwards now? See. Karya Karana refers to what? Entire Jagat. Entire Jagat means Maya also is, Ajnana also is included. When all this destroyed, what remains? Atma Brahma, which was referred to in the earlier chapter as Satyasya Satyam. Jagat made up of 5 elements, relatively Satya. Its truth basis, that is Brahma, that Satyasya Satyam. Sheshi, that which remains. So, or, see, that is, what is that? So, what remains? Swata Siddhyam Ananyagam Yadvastu Asti. After destruction of entire Jagat with its cause, the Ajnana, Maya, Prakriti, says, what remains? This is what remains. Swata Siddham. Same thing, if you take Nashe api, same meaning. After the destruction of Karya Karana, so what remains? Says, Swata Siddham Yad Vastu, whatever thing. What is it? Swata Siddham. What is Swata Siddham? Self-existent. What do you mean by self-existent? Swata Siddha. Whose astitva, existence is what? On its own, not depending on anything else. For example, me as the individual, this existence depends on what all factors? All of our individuality as Mr. So-and-so, Mrs. So-and-so, etc. So it depends on what? First, what should you have? Body. Body means to have the body, what dependence is there? Panchamahabhutas, is it not? Again, whether the gross body or subtle body, Panchamahabhutas required. Panchamahabhutas means 3 gunas required. 3 gunas means what is required? Prakriti, Maya required. Not enough, it is all inert. Chaitanya required. Dependence or not. So this is what is called apeksha, dependence, expectation is that. Nirapeksha. This is why it is not Swata Siddha. It is made up of something. So that which exists without dependence on anything, only Chaitanya Rupa Atma, Paramatma, Pratyagatma, Brahma alone can be so. So Swata Siddham, that is self-existent. Ananyagam, that which is not known with the help of something else. See, Ananyagam means whose knowledge is by something other than itself. For example, let us say, all alatma is chaitanya gam. See, gam dhatu, gam gati, also jnane. Gam gacchati, the meaning is of the word to go, also to gain the knowledge. So that way you have to take it. Like that, did you get it? English you say, did you get it? Or did it enter? Where? Did it enter your mind? Did you do you understand that? So that is how it is. So therefore, gam dhatu. So therefore, gachati means janati also. So annena gachati means janati iti anyagam. Na annena gachati, na annena janati iti ananyagam. That which is not known by something else. For example, let us say, this microphone is anyagam. How? Annena janati. To know this microphone, you have to see the microphone, you have to use the eyes. Eyes means mind. Mind means antakana vritti of microphone akara. That microphone akara vritti has to be illumined by who? Chaitanya. If the Chaitanya knowledge principle is not there, you can't see the microphone. Therefore what? Chaitanyena avagacchati. So, Chaitanya means you know by Chaitanya. Therefore what happens is, this microphone is anyagam, known through something other than itself. Whereas Chaitanya Atma itself is what? Knowledge principle, not anyagam. For example, let us say, other example. To see any object in the world, you need light. Okay? To see sun, do you need light? Why? Self-luminous. So also here, this is the Swayam Prakasha, Swaprakasha, Prakasha in terms of knowledge principle. So therefore, that being the case, Ananyagam means it cannot be, what is that? The Swatasiddha Vastu Atma cannot be a Vishaya of Chaitanya. Anatma has to be Vishaya, object of Chaitanya. The Atma cannot be Chaitanya Vishaya. So therefore, Ananyagam means Chaitanya Vishayatva Yogyam. Chaitanya Vishayatva is there, okay? Ayogyam is there. Vishayatva Yogya means which is Ayogya to become the Vishaya of Chaitanya. The contrast can be seen. Anatma is Chaitanyagam because it is the Vishaya of Chaitanya. And so whereas, see, Anatma, any inert object is Vishaya of Chaitanya. What is the status of Chaitanya with respect to that Anatma Vishaya? What it is called technically? Vishayi. See, Vishaya Vishayi. So, an object known is what? Vishaya. The knower is one who gains knowledge, what? Vishayi, means one who is related to Vishaya. Even the Vishayi, knower is a status with respect to the known object. If known object is not there, what is there only? That the knowledge tattva only is there. So therefore it says, so Ananyagam means it is something which is not an object of Chaitanya. Yad Vastu Asti. What is that Vastu? Very Chaitanya itself, Atma, knowledge principle. Tad, that Vastu which is Swatat Siddha and Ananyagam, not known by anything other than itself, because it is Chaitanya, knowledge principle itself. It says that Vastu Swatma Samvityai. That is to gain the knowledge of Atma, to gain direct cognition without depending on anything. So how Swatma Vityai? Nirapekshataha, without apeksha, dependence on anything whatsoever. Nirapekshataha. Alam. Alam means what? Sufficient. That means, what it means is, this Atma is what? Swaprakasha. It doesn't need any other means of knowledge. That is what we have seen earlier also in the past, Naishkarma Siddhi, etc. In knowledge, what happens? Even the Pramata, knower is not there. If Pramata is there, Prameya comes. Atma can never be a known thing, Prameya. And what happens? That notion of Pramata is not there. Antakarna assumes the Swarupa of Atma without even the Pramata. And Chaitanya Swarupa being knowledge principle, nothing else is necessary. Then you may say, Antakarna is required. Is it not? That is required because you are carrying an embodiment. Upadhi, what can be done? So because presently Upadhi is there, knowledge has to be through Antakarna. But the knower also should not be there. What is there only? The Swarupa of Atma only is there. So that being the case, Swata Siddham Ananyagam Yad Vastu Asti. Whatever that Atma Swarupa, Paramatma Swarupa, Brahma Swarupa is there, Pratyagatma is there. Svatma Samvityai, to gain the knowledge of oneself, Nirapekshtaha, without dependence on anything, that is enough. That is. There is one alternate reading also is there. In the place of Ananyagam, Ananyamam is there. Not mom, okay? Ananyamam is there. In that case, little difference you have to take. What is that? Na vidyate annena ma. Ma means pramiti, prama. Na vidyate annena ma means prama, means pramitihi, yasya tad ananyam. Ananyamam means swaprakasham. That's all. So Ananyagam also means what? Swaprakasham. See, the one which has no, what is that? Ma means prama, pramiti, knowledge by something else. That is what is called Ananya Mam, means in short, Swaprakasham, self-luminous in terms of knowledge principle. Ananyagam also means what? Same thing. Ananyagam also means that which is Swaprakasha in terms of knowledge principle. So, then when this notion of difference comes, what is called as Bheda Buddhi, because of his Saudhnya is there, that is explained in the subsequent mantra, that is 2-4-14, which will be explained in the stanza 83. We'll see that.
Om Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahimayesha Go Brahmanebhya Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Vashatu Parjanya Prithvi Sasya Shalini Desho Yangsho Varahita Brahmana Santu Nirmaya Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaśyid Dukha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti